Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Stepping into the Light with Julia Treat. That's me, your host from juliatreat.com. Welcome if you're new to my podcast, and thank you to everyone who has stuck by me over the weeks, the months, and the years. We just passed 1 million downloads, and I was dancing with joy. I just am so grateful for you taking the time to listen, and I hope that what I have to share today will help you on your journey. I think I may begin to post more often and perhaps shorter podcasts. So just subscribe if you're not. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for that case. I'm thinking about breaking these down a little bit more. But again, it's an idea today that might change tomorrow. I've learned through this whole Great Awakening to just go with the flow. I was sitting here writing down ideas for chapters in my new book. My new book, so far, the title is going to be Return to Light and Live the Quantum Life. Something along those lines. I might tweak it a little bit, but it really is about returning to light, that true divine light that we are, and writing all the ideas that have happened that I thought not only were amazing for me, but might help someone else. I wanted to share one of the stories that I'll have in my book. Now, this chapter is called I Caught a Pedophile at a Water Park. And it has all to do with intuition. I'm going to explain. Now, this happened way before my awakening, before I really understood what's happening in this world to children. Okay, I did not, of course, we all knew there was pedophiles and child porn and stuff, but this was before I really knew what they're doing with children. So just want to kind of put that into perspective. It's before I actually had my awakening into what is really happening in this world. Now, I had, been doing this work for several years. I was seeing people regularly for readings. I still do, for individual, for tandem readings, two people, groups. I was seeing people for classes and really helping others tap into their own tuition, their own connection with God, with Source, and how to strengthen that or how to begin to create their own miracles, to trust their intuition, all the stuff, which is what I continue to do. So I was full swing into my work. And one time we decided to take Michael's daughters, my partner Michael, my boyfriend of 14 years. I thought it was 15. He reminded me it's 14. Okay, well, I've lost track. It doesn't matter at this point. And we decided to go to this water park. It's actually called it's Camelback Mountain. That's when they ski, but it's Camel Beach. They turn it into a water park in the summer. It's in Northeast Pennsylvania. And so we're at the water park. We're going on all the rides and just having a blast. The park is packed, just having so much fun. And they wanted to go on the lazy river ride. Now, here's where the intuition kicked in. I didn't know why, but I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to sit this one out. I hadn't sat out any other rides. So I said, I'm just going to sit this one out. So I was kind of leaning against a fence, like a wooden fence, while they were standing in line. And I was, we were there talking. Michael's there, his three daughters. They're all leaning against the fence side by side. And all of a sudden, this man walks up behind them. Short guy, he's like, anyway, I'm not going to describe him, just a short guy. He walks up behind him, and he pulls out a camera, and he takes a picture of their backside, of their butts. Now, I was in, shock for just a moment, because I was just like, what just happened here? And then he turned, and I saw him aim the camera at 5 little girls that were holding hands walking away from him. And they were all holding hands, maybe 6 years old, very young, 6, I'm going to guess 5, 6. And he took a picture of them walking all their backside. And it snapped what was actually happening. So I started screaming, security, security. I went ballistic. Michael and his daughters are looking at me. I'm like, that guy just took a picture of your daughter's butts. And he just took a picture of those little girls' butts. And I was like, security. The kid running in the lazy river, he was like looking at me like freaking out, like, what? And I said, call security, he's right there in the yellow shirt. And I took off running because this guy at this point knew that I saw him. He put his camera in his pocket, still trying to be real nonchalant, put his camera in his pocket, and he took off very quick pace. He wasn't running yet, but he was walking very quickly. There was no way in hell this guy's going to get away from me. Okay, so I'm after him. I'm following him. I'm kind of picking up my pace because I don't want to lose him. Then he starts running, and I start running, and he had a yellow tank top. I'll never forget that yellow tank top shirt, tank top or a t-shirt. Anyway, it was yellow, brightest color you can have in the damn place, right? Smart. And he's taking that off because I know he's trying to like be so no one can recognize him. So I'm running, and he's enough a ways in front of me, in case I'm not putting myself in harm. Although I probably would have tackled him if I needed to. So security finally catches up to me, and they're running up, and I'm like, he's right there, and I'm pointing at him, and they just take off, and they said, okay, ma'am, we'll take it from here. And I'm just like, stop, and I'm out of breath. I'm running like, at this water park, I'm in a bikini running after this man. I just think about what that looked like. Oh my God. So, I go back, I finally find Mike and his girls, and they're like, what happened? Or what's going on? I said, that guy, he took a picture of you guys, your butts. And anyway, we're sitting there having a cocktail, Michael and I, and here comes security. They find me. And this gentleman comes up and he says, ma'am, I just want to let you know that we did catch him. He tried to get out the front gate, and the state police were waiting right there. I was just like, oh my God, thank you. And I said, can you please get those pictures from that camera? I don't want Michael's daughter's, picture out on the internet or anything. And he says, yes, ma'am, we'll take care of that. So that's how it was, right? Now, I think it was a few days later, yeah, or the next weekend. We were out at a bar that we used to go to. We just don't go there anymore. But we went to a bar we used to go to, and a bunch of our friends were sitting around, and I started telling them the story. I said, oh my God, I caught this guy at Camelback. He was taking pictures of kids, and I ran after him. Security came, and they stopped me like right there, and they said, oh my God, Julia, that was on the news that night. They caught the guy. It turns out he was like one of the biggest child porn traffickers in the Poconos, Northeast Pennsylvania. I just got goosebumps again. I can't even begin to tell you how amazing it felt that not only they had caught the guy, but that he was going down, that they found out. I guess they went to his home. He had all these computers with all kinds of stuff. And so I'm sharing this because I think sometimes people get some kind of airy-fairy belief about intuition and being connected. You guys, that's the spell, to be in an airy-fairy land. I was just at a water park having the time of my life, and something told me to sit that ride out. Well, that something was my intuition. It was my connection. Whether you want to believe it was me guiding myself to do that, or God telling me in an intuitive way, you're going to sit this one out because I need you to catch this pedophile. Intuition is an amazing, amazing thing. And when we can step away from what we think that looks like or what it's all about, and we really start, exercising that, working on it. I've worked on it for years. I continue to. I will never stop because I know there's always something more. I can reach to new heights. I can ascend higher. I can do more. I can connect easier. And I want to give this tip about, leaning into your intuition. Just getting an intuitive hit to do something and staying out of the result of how that has to end or what's going to become of that. And hopefully I'll make sense with what just happened this morning. I just had this idea that I needed to clear the home with the Palo Santo, which I do regularly. That's another thing. I work on keeping our home very beautiful, peaceful, loving, calm. When I used to see people in my home for sessions, they said it was the most loving place they'd ever been. And I said, well, I work at that. You can create this too. So it wasn't that I felt anything dark was here. I just felt like I needed to clear with Palo Santo. So I did. So I lit my Palo Santo. I got my feather that I used to just swish the smoke around. By the way, you don't need a feather. You can use an envelope, piece of paper. Doesn't matter. Okay. But I went downstairs and I started, you know, just going to the spaces and places. I open up all the closet doors. I open any doors that are closed. I swish in there. And I came into it's a room I use downstairs. Sometimes in the winter time when I need to have a class, Michael doesn't want to go out in the man cave because it's too cold. Then I'll go downstairs and have my classes there online. And I have some things that I stored in there from work, some ideas, some classes, and it's just kind of like my little storage office place. And I'm swishing in there, and I swish in the closet, and my eye catches this banner that I have been asking for. Like, where is it? I would love this to show up again. And it's a beautiful fabric. It's a blue fabric banner, and it has children from all different spaces and places around the world, and they're all dancing with ribbons in their hands around a picture of Earth. And I can't even tell you how many times I have cleared this home or I have gone and looked for that banner and I have not been able to find it. But as I was swishing in that closet, I looked down and there was I could see it peeking out underneath another Afghan, a little Afghan that my grandmother had made. And I was like, oh my God, there it is. And I grabbed it. And I knew at that moment that's why I needed to clear, was just to find that banner. If you're on my email list, I'm going to send out, this podcast and a couple other things to share. And I'm going to send a picture of this banner so that you can see what I'm talking about. If you want to get on my email list, I'm not sending a lot of stuff out, but, random things here and there that I think might be helpful. Just go to juliatreat.com and it'll pop up. You can put your email in there. And by the way, this pop-up, for some reason, even if you put your email address in, it has come through, okay? They come through, I see them, but I think it pops up again for you because people send them again. It doesn't matter to me if you want to keep putting it in to make sure, but I just wanted to let you know you have been added to the list. But I'm going to share a picture of the banner. I was so tickled. I put it out on my dining room table, and I'm going to go iron it because it's all wrinkled. I had it folded, but I want to iron out the creases, and I'm going to go hang this outside. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of my outside area where I have all my heart rocks lined up on the walls along the beams on my fence. I'm going to hang this banner above all of that. So maybe I'll do that first before I send the email out with the picture. So get on that list if you want to see what I'm talking about. What else do I want to... There's so much. Like I said, I was going to try to make these shorter, but I don't know. If it's interesting, I guess I can keep going. Okay. So again, intuition. I do something, and it turns out it's for a different reason. To clear, yes, but then to find that banner. For those of you that listened to me over the years, you know that Jesus and the Rainbow Crew, who are the children, the caretakers of New Earth that we are seeding right now, they have always sent me the number 911. It's the number they send me. I've seen it for years. That's the number. And the mirror number, 119, started happening about the time that the divine feminine energy began coming into this planet a few years back. Only for me to learn, now hear me out here, 119 in Gematria means Mary Magdalene. I am not saying Gematria is good or bad. I'm saying that's how I got my message that number is connected with Mary Magdalene. Okay, so do your own research on that. That's up to you. So Mary Magdalene started coming in. And so then I started connecting with Jesus and Mary Magdalene and understanding this whole twin flame situation, understanding it wholly, like what this truly means. And I've been talking about ASEA for quite some time. Michael and I still drink it. I use the gel. I use actually their whole facial products, all their facial products, all their line of products, facial products. Anyway, I did an interview with Alan, who is one of the top people in the company that actually does all the interviews. He is an amazing person. He's from Ireland, I believe it is. Ireland or Scotland, but I think it's Ireland, but now lives in Texas. Wonderful, one of the most beautiful souls I know. And I did an interview with him. He wanted to add me to their website. They have this site called realredoxresults.com. If you ever want to check it out, just go to realredoxresults.com. Realredox, REDOX, results.com. Anyway, my interview, we did the interview, and he called me afterward. He said, Julia, it was amazing. Thank you. And he said, your testimonial is going to be number 119, 119. I just got goosebumps again. I said, Alan, you have no idea what that even means. That just made my heart smell so big. And so he was intrigued, and I had to explain it to him. I said, that is one of my numbers, like of divine connection. So, I just got chills all over my body. We let our intuition guide us, and we're stepping out of the ego state of it. And that is the hardest, that's the most difficult part. Because we are programmed, this ego is programmed to do what's called fudding. That's a word I've learned, fudding. F-U-D, capital F, capital U, capital D. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. How much are you doing of that these days? Just curious. So, the only way you begin trusting your intuition is following it. Sometimes, what I'm going to say, sticking with it, wherever it led you to, and allowing things to unfold away from what you think should happen, right? What you believe this is supposed to happen at the end. No, I'm just following my intuition. Just something, I didn't want to ride that ride for some reason, didn't know why, and it was just to catch one of the biggest child porn pedophile creeps in Northeast Pennsylvania. You starting to let that sink in? I'm not out there searching for someone to tell me what to do. I'm not searching for someone to tell me, you tell me the truth, you tell me the truth, you tell me the untruths, and you do this, and you tell me what I should be doing right now. I'm not doing that. I'm following my own guidance system. I am connected with Earth. I'm doing so much grounding. I'm earthing every single day I kind of have this rule now. I have to be earthing more than I am on my devices. Try that on. We'll see what happens. But I'm so connected with Earth, with God, with Source, with myself, with my own intuition. It's the most beautiful thing. I think I'm going to leave it there for today and just invite you, if you want to take this journey into this great awakening and tapping into your God-given gifts and even learning to tap into your own intuition, join me for my new program, Welcoming the Golden Age. It's 28 days. It really is returning to light and living the quantum life. We are doing it now. Okay, we're not being lifted anywhere. We're not taken off on a mothership. Okay, we're not being beamed up into something. We're here. We are here to rebuild this beautiful, beautiful place. And if you are not leaning into that, you are listening to or watching or following the wrong people. That's just the truth. If you want to get in the group, I'll start you on the automation as soon as you hit the purchase button. Just right now, that is not on my website. It's being built. The automation is occurring. You can get in by just sending me an email at support@juliatreat.com. support@juliatreat.com. Just let me know you want in, and I'll send you the payment link, and boom, you're in. You'll have a choice to just do the course on your own, to join me for the group calls. Yes, one has already occurred. You will get that recording. And also an opportunity to work with me one-on-one for a month while you do the program. So that's my offering currently. I am also doing sessions if you need a reading, a past life regression, which, by the way, past life regression does obliterate the past lives, L-I-V-E-S, and the past lies, L-I-E-S. Say we have past lives that we have lived, and we also have past lies that they made us believe we lived. It's deep. Fortunately, past life regression will obliterate all of that. I think that's it. I am hoping that you have the most beautiful day and that you are beginning to notice and see the signs of New Earth. Just a few to keep in mind. The sun is white instead of yellow. And that is one major shift that has occurred. You'll begin noticing that manifesting is happening faster and faster. Now, it depends on what you're manifesting. It could be shitty, it could be really amazing. But it is happening faster, quicker. Hopefully feeling as one with all of your soul family as we continue to rise. Also, being able to separate from the emotions of those in third dimension, still in that third dimensional narrative, the fear narrative. Okay, being able to separate from that so you aren't pulled back into the web, so that you are continuing to do your own healing and rising and shining and aligning and ascending. But you're not pulled into the web, but you can still be a part of their lives without being pulled into that lower emotional state. Okay, just something else we're working on in the group. Okay, lovey, that is it for today. If you want to check out that ASEA testimonial, again, I'm number 119, winky dinky doo. It is realredoxresults.com. Just check it out and see what I have to say. I thank you for that. If you're interested in ASEA, just go to juliatreat.teamasea.com. If you need help, there's a contact button there. I'll contact you and we can walk you through it. The light in me sees the light in you, and it is divine. God bless. Namaste.